Imagine that it's not our physical body that makes us living beings. People often think that our body is the foundation of being alive. But the Danish author Martinus provides us with a different view on our body. He states that we are more than our body, and what makes us alive is not our body itself. So what are we, and what role does our body play if it's not what makes us alive? In my previous video, I explained that the analysis of the living being is a triune principle with an I, the ability to create, and the created. The three principles are the bare minimum of what is required to have a living being. The idea is, if you take one of the principles away, then there is no living being. If there's nothing to direct a living being, as we know from each other as human beings, then there is no movement, there's nothing that moves, only silence, and there is no living being. And if there's nothing to move, that means there's nothing to create in, there's nothing to change, then there is no life as well. And the third principle is the ability to create or change something. So if this I that directs doesn't have an ability to change anything, then there is no move and thereby no life. That's the essence of the three principles. You can check it out in the video for more details. The three principles are without a start and an end, so they are eternal. So if the three principles are eternal and makes up the living being, that means the living being is eternal. Our physical body is not eternal. It starts when we are born and it ceases to exist when we die. So the living being and the physical body cannot be the same based on this understanding of the living being and our body. So in essence, the living being, the things that steer our life, is not the body. So what is the body and what role does it have if it's not the foundation of being alive? The body is a tool because it's not the living being itself. It is something that the living being utilizes to express itself and create in the physical world. To create in the physical world like we do with other tools that we know. Like a hammer that we can do something with, like a car that we can drive in, and so forth. The body is simply a tool for the living being to enable it to be on the physical plane. That also means that the body itself is not the living being. The living being is this eternal entity that is behind the body. The body itself is not alive. It's the living being behind the body that expresses itself through the body. The body enables the living being to express itself, change the matter, and experience the physical plane. Thereby it becomes a tool for the living being. As any other tool, it gets worn out. We know this as aging. At some point, the body just doesn't work anymore. This is the point in time where the thing that we usually call death is happening. The body cannot be used anymore as a tool that's attached the living being to the physical plane. Instead, the living being is attached to its spiritual bodies and experienced through these for a period of time on the spiritual planes. We experience the spiritual world for a period of time until we are born again and get a new physical body. We know this as reincarnation. We will have a physical body and experience the physical world again until this new body will be worn out again. Then we go back to the spiritual world and so forth, back and forth between the physical and the spiritual world. Martinus states that we develop as living beings. So the idea that we can get new bodies also means that we can always have a body that is suitable for our development. In previous time we would have more primitive bodies that would not fit us today with what we can do and what we want to do. A good example is our brain that has developed over time. It is much more advanced today than it used to be. So because we have advanced, we can actually get a better brain and do better thinking on the physical plane. We can also see that the bodies get more and more refined, and it will just be even more refined in the future. So the fact that we can get new bodies means that we can get a new tool to experience life that is suitable for us. We are not stuck with a body that is too primitive. Another point is that we can get a new physical body if the current one gets damaged. We can get into accidents, we can get sick, and we can be injured in other ways that makes our physical body unusable. If the body gets so injured that it cannot function anymore, then we die. After a period of time in the spiritual world, we can be reborn and get a new body. If we get less injured, that means we don't die, we will also eventually get a new body when we are reborn, so an accident or other injuries will eventually be remedied. It will get fixed with the new body. From this perspective, dying is not such a bad thing as it's mostly perceived in today's world. The physical death is not really a death in the sense that we stop experiencing life. It's more like birth into a new type of existence that will be based on a spiritual body rather than the physical body. It also means that our experience will be spiritual rather than physical. Martinus described that in the future that will be much more a happy thing than it is today, where it's mostly related to some sort of sorrow. When it becomes common knowledge that the physical death is not the end of being alive, then the whole perception of death will change. I will go into these topics in future videos, so if you want to follow, please subscribe to the channel to hear more about these intriguing topics, and please leave a comment and a question below, and I'll be happy to answer them to the best of my abilities. Please like the video if you found it valuable. It's really nice as a creator to get these likes. And please take a look at the related videos in the description and on the channel page to find more about the different topics. Thank you very much for watching this video.